Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the BMG show. Today we will discuss about a man who selfishly used $10,000 from his father's insurance company, from the insurance check. And we will discuss how they will move into a white neighborhood where they are not wanted by the others. Heck, they even tried to buy the house just so they wouldn't go there. Because the residents living there believed that black people there would influence them and their children in a bad way. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the man I'm talking about. Walter Youngling. Nice to meet you, Walter.
Me too.
You know why you're in the show.
I'm special.
Interesting. Maybe you are. Now, Walter, do you think you set a good example for Travis? And for you people who don't know who Travis is his son, who's probably practically witnessed everything he's done.
No, I haven't, because I disrespected my wife and my sister, and I don't want my son to be doing that when he's older. So that's very disrespectful, because I love these two women, and if he does, I'm just setting an example, and he might think that's a good example. So I don't want that to happen. He's like,
That's touching. Could you have solved your problems any other way instead of drinking?
yeah, I could have communicated better with my family. Every time I was just so stubborn and I just talked by myself. I didn't let them tell me. And if I let them talk, maybe we could have solved the problem. Maybe we could have negotiated a solution. But yeah,
So you think you will change from now on?
yeah, I learned my lesson. It's family first.
Okay. Don't you think you made yet another mistake by moving into a house where your neighbors are all white and don't want you there?
No, they look at me disrespectfully, but no. Because I know my family's strong and I'm proud of my skin color. I don't care what they think. But if they touch me or any of my family members, then that's a problem. But that won't most likely not happen.
Why do you believe it won't happen?
Because they're scared of us.
That's actually very true. But do you think they will try to do other ways for you guys to move out?
Yeah, they will, but we're not moving out. We're strong.
To show your pride. I understand. Now, what do you think about Asegai, Bennett's friend, beneath his friend?
I thought they were more than a friend.
We don't know. Are they?
Yeah, she's told me about him. And yeah, they are more than friends, but I hope he takes care of her. If he takes care of her, then I'll be alright with him.
Okay. Well, you won't believe he's on a show tonight. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, put a big round hand for Asegai. Nice to meet you, sir. Should we shake hands so you guys? I think this is the first time you've met each other.
Yeah.
Okay. From back, you've heard about what Walter said about you. What do you want him to know about you? Like, what do you?
Well, I want him to know that I have no intention of hurting his family. I just want to be a part of it. Because I really love his sister.
Okay. So, let's talk about beneath us. So, don't you think you should let her finish her education before taking her to Africa with you?
We're planning on it, but yeah, we're planning on it. We're both thinking about letting her finish her education in the U.S. and then we're planning on moving to Africa together and raising a family of our own so I can present it to my parents.
What about you? What do you think about it?
I don't know about marrying yet, because I hope they get to know each other before they get married, because they eventually will divorce because they do not know each other as well. But yeah, as long as he takes care of her and cares about her and respects us, his family, I'm alright with it.
You say, from what I know, you have an intention of marrying her, but will you marry her, let her like do what she wants first before marrying her so she can be a settled woman, or will you just, or will you just rush things?
Better.
Whatever pleases her, I plan on letting her do it before, or that depends on her, whatever she wants to do. We can still be together while she's doing her things, but as long as I can get to be with her, then I think that's what's right for me.
That's good. That's actually very smart. What do you think you will be accepted into beneath his family?
I think I'm working on it, but I have no intention of hurting the family, like I said before. But I need confirmation from the mother and maybe any other people or know me yet.
Walter, what do you say about this?
So far, I like him. He's actually well humble. He's really humble, and yeah, he's just a really nice guy so far.
How do you feel about Walter saying this for you?
It's a step forward to being a fan. It's a good time.
Okay. So, now let's talk more about Benita. So, like, now that you've met her, do you think she's the right woman for me? Like, do you think she's your soulmate?
Without a doubt, I believe it. She is, because we both like each other. So we're planning on spending the rest of our lives together. So yeah, I believe she's the right one.
That's good. What about you? Now let's talk about more of life. We know that your wife Ruth is pregnant. Have you thought of any names you might like to name your baby?
My boy, most likely Walter Jr. If it's a girl, then I really don't know because I haven't thought about this. We'll talk about it together. And we'll see
So
what
it's
happens.
good communication.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you one thing. What about, do you think it was really selfish of you to use your father's insurance money to invest in a liquor store?
Yeah. My father worked so hard when he was working and he eventually died. And that money was supposed to be the money was supposed to be for my sister, but I spent it on a liquor store that didn't even happen because he took the guy that we partnered with, took it away.
So you believe you should have put the $3,000 for your sister, for her college, in a deposit, and then use whatever you wanted,
Yeah.
like the rest of $7,000.
Yeah. I was just thinking about myself. I was just really selfish. Wasn't thinking about my family.
Did you learn any lesson after your partner betrayed you and you lost all the money?
Yeah. Don't trust people. Just don't trust. Don't put your trust into one person and expect a big thing.
But wasn't it your decision to go for, like, what made you think of it instead of listening to what your mom advised?
At that time, I was just being selfish. I didn't really care what people said. I was just being really stubborn and not communicating. Like I said, I just wanted, if we communicated, something could have happened. We could have came up with a solution or something. But I guess that didn't happen. Now we have a problem.
What about you, Asagai? From what you've heard about Walter, about what he said about his story, what do you think of him?
I think he's a capable man, but what he did was selfish. But he could have done a better thing, like listening to his mother first of all. But she is a very hardworking woman. Even though I don't know her well, she seems hardworking. But he could be a better person. He could have done better than use the money for something that didn't happen in the first place. And when everyone was telling him not to do it, he did it. So I think he should have listened to everyone who really cared about him in the first place before going into an investment such as liquor store.
So, that's touching. What about you, Walter? Now that you've heard what Asagai said, you've kind of gotten to know him, what do you think of him?
He's really calm. His presentation has been really good for me to get to know him. I think I like him.
So, Asagai, from what has Benita told you, what do you think of, like, Walter's family?
They're very hardworking people. They're proud of what they do in their lives, but that's part of why I want to be a part of it, because they do everything together. Even no matter what happens to one another, they're still gonna be there together. So I'm really part of the family.
What about when Benita goes to Africa? Will you make it work for her to be able to spend a lot of time with you, but also be able to come back to America and see her family?
Yeah, that's for sure. Because we're not always gonna live in Africa. We're gonna go back and forth sometimes in the years, but yeah, we're gonna see how it goes.
So, gentlemen, like, what steps would you guys like to take first to get to know each other more, or to make, if you get to when you get to marry Benitez, what steps will you take?
I believe we should spend more time together as a family, like inviting me to dinner sometimes, or they could come and see how I live, or we could be more friendly to each other in the first place.
So, like, getting to know each other first, then going on trips?
Yes.
Okay, so like they can know about your heritage and you can learn more about them.
Yes.
What steps will you try to take with Asigai to get to know him more?
I just want to see if he cares about my sister. And if he does, then I'm okay with marrying. But marrying is a little too far ahead of doing, like, yeah, doing something. I just don't think y'all should get married yet. You guys should get to know each other first, because y'all will eventually get a divorce, which would be stupid.
We've heard about Walter's that he didn't set a good example for his son. Do you believe the same?
Yeah, well, it's his son, but I'm not a father yet. But his son,
You wish to be.
yeah, I wish to be, but his son wasn't. I don't really know his son, but I think it was also affected, especially as his son, he was also affected by the choices his father made and what was going on around him. And he's a pretty good child from what I've heard.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming to the BMG show. I appreciate you coming. Until next time. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the BMG show. Please stay tuned for next time. We come again. Next time, we will talk about a crisis between the mother and daughter.